Voter suppression doesn't walk in and ask, what race are you? It asks if you have a car, a flexible job, a current ID, 4 hours to stand in line.
If you're white and you think the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act doesn't affect you, think again. Because that instinct that this is someone else's problem, that it won't affect me, just them, is how we ended up here. Exactly.
This has always been the problem. The powers that be always have denigrated Black people and anything attached to it. Like welfare queens, you immediately think of Black people. That's by design. But most people on welfare are white women. But we become the face of it so they can dismantle welfare, a safety net for people who can barely afford to live. They're doing the same thing with the Voting Rights Act.
What actually happened was the Supreme Court didn't just weaken the Voting Rights Act for voters of color. They dismantled the enforcement mechanism that makes your vote, your white vote, mean something too. Because the truth about voter suppression is that nobody says this part out loud. It's that it's never about race. It's always been about power, the big guy versus the little guy.
White voters think the Voting Rights Act was somebody else's policy. Then they realized the insurance was keeping everybody's polling places from catching fire. That's like canceling your fire insurance because your neighbor's house is the one burning. Well, I'm sorry, Meemaw. Flames don't care about your race or your political affiliation.
Make no mistake, this decision means fewer voting places. Guess what? That's your rural white county too. Stricter ID laws, that's your elderly mother who doesn't drive and doesn't have a passport. Purge voter rolls, that's your kid who moved home from college. Early voting cuts, that's you working 2 jobs trying to get to the polls on a Tuesday before they close.
We've already seen this before, and I don't know how many times that white voters will fall for this. When they were trying to gut Obamacare, a very popular policy, they call it the ACA in white neighborhoods, and specifically call it Obamacare when they were denigrating the policy. A lot of people got cuts to their medical care because they're thinking it's the ACA and not Obamacare, which are the same thing. But you are okay with Black people losing Obamacare, but the powers that be don't want any of us to have Medicare, so the medical and health insurance companies can charge us whatever they like. How many times are we going to fall for this? No, I'm sorry. How many times are you going to fall for this? It affects you. Let the alarm bells ring anytime they're making a case that somehow Black people are benefiting and they need to cut a policy. Believe that they're trying to cut policies for poor people, rural people as well. This has never been about Black or white. They've just used Black or white so they can get rid of the policies, and rich people, the moneyed interests, will have power and say over us all.
The architecture of suppression doesn't check your skin color at the door. It checks your income, your zip code, whether you have the flexibility in your schedule, whether you can afford to wait in a 4-hour line. They got the Voting Rights Act, and what they really got is the guardrail, the legal infrastructure that allows anyone to challenge a law designed to make voting harder.
Think about what's going on right now. Data centers, they are putting data centers everywhere. If your vote doesn't count, they can just put them there in your communities. Where are they putting these data centers? They putting them in places where people don't have power to push back against these billion-dollar corporations. It will affect your air quality, your water quality, your quality of life, the environment. But if you don't have political power, which our vote is, then they can do anything they want.
Without it, state legislatures move faster. They can redistrict with less scrutiny, with the primary goal being to steal our elections and take away our democracy. They can close polling locations in working class neighborhoods, all working class neighborhoods. This is not abstract. This is your school board, your water quality, your hospital staying open, your sheriff, your state legislature drawing the maps that decide whether your vote is competitive ever again. The Voting Rights Act was not now or ever was a Black gift. It was an American promise, written in blood, in Selma on a bridge, by people who understood that democracy is not self-executing. Someone has to guard it. And if you've been sitting on the sidelines thinking this fight wasn't yours because you're white, you are wrong. They're coming for you too.
Black people have always been the canary in the coal mine. They take our vote, they're taking your vote too. Democracy is about one person, one vote. And the gutting of the Voting Rights Act kills democracy for us all. Stay vigilant.